Welcome to day 2 of our study of books of 1st and 2nd King. Now, yesterday was dedicated for a recap of everything that happened that led up to this moment. But 1st King, the book of 1st King started with David becoming old, very old for his kingdom, that eventually Solomon replaced David as king. Here's the thing. In 2 Samuel chapter 7, when David had a conversation with God, and God promised David that he would build him a house, a dynasty, and from his dynasty, the Messiah will come. David thought that the king that God was referring to when they had a conversation, he thought that son of his who would be the eternal king would be his son Solomon. Remember that we talked about David thinking of building a temple for God, but God did not allow it. But God allowed Solomon to build the temple. Solomon is known by many as the wisest king in the history of Israel. There was one time when Solomon had this conversation with God, and God asked him what he wants. Solomon did not ask for fame, for money. He did not ask for material things. Solomon, knowing the weight of the burden of being a king, shepherding the Israelites, he knows that it's a difficult thing to lead all of these Israelites. So when God asked him what he wants, Solomon said that he wants wisdom to lead the people of God. You know, imagine a genie pops up and asks you, "What do you want?" And Solomon did not ask for money, did not ask for the whole world. He asked for wisdom. Now, what's the difference between wisdom and intelligence? Intelligence is just here. Wisdom is knowledge that resides here and that turns into application. So, it's knowing by the mind and understanding by the heart. That is wisdom. Solomon asked for that. Solomon dedicated the temple to God, of course, because it was for God. And then, Solomon had this conversation with the Lord again. And God said this to Solomon. 1 Kings chapter 9, the Lord appears to Solomon. I'll read from verse 1. As soon as Solomon had finished building the house of the Lord and the king's house and all that Solomon desired to build, the Lord appeared to Solomon a second time, as he had appeared to him at Gibeon. And the Lord said to him, "I have heard your prayer and your plea, which you have made before me. I have consecrated this house that you have built by putting my name there forever. My eyes and my heart will be there for all time. And as for you, if you will walk before me, as David your father walked, with integrity of heart and uprightness, doing according to all that I have commanded you, and keeping my statutes and my rules, then I will establish your royal throne over Israel forever. As I promised David your father, saying, you shall not lack a man on the throne of Israel. But if you turn aside from following me, you or your children, and do not keep my commandments and my statutes that I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them, then I will cut off Israel from the land that I have given them, and the house that I have consecrated for my name I will cast out of my sight, and Israel will become a proverb and a byword among all peoples." What is the principle for today? The principle for today is this. Those who walk with God gets established, and those who turn from Him will meet disasters. Remember, in this intimate conversation between God and Solomon, the Lord gave this very clear rule. And this rule is not new. Like from the time of Abraham to Isaac to Jacob to Moses to Joshua to the judges, God has been very consistent. You walk with me, you're gonna have success. You turn away from me, you're gonna have disasters. What happened here is that Solomon actually turned from the Lord. He did not follow all His commandments. God has been very clear. He did not follow. He turned his back to God. So when he died, his son, Rehoboam, did not become a good king as well. And what is the result? The result is, this is the disaster in the book of 1st and 2nd Kings. Israel became divided. In the time of Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, it became divided into Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. It's a terrible thing. The Northern Kingdom was called Israel, the Southern Kingdom was called Judah. And this split did not go well. It will continue to spiral down from here on. And we will continue to study that.